is Vasily Kudrin. In the beginning, I will tell you a little about myself. I am a specialist in finance and corporate governance, an auditor and a financier. I was also actively involved in internal control and internal audit professional area. That is, I investigated a lot of business processes of many different companies. I worked in large companies, such as X5 Retail Group, also a company within AFK Sistema and Ernst & Young. I also worked in Yukos Oil Corporation. One time I came to understand that the topic related to blockchain and Bitcoin was very promising. By now, I with my partners have founded the company Librion. Among the partners there are experts like me, that is, people from business. Among us there are also investment bankers. There are colleagues who were actively involved in the ICO, initial coin offering, topic. In 2017 to 2018. Company Librion is engaged in raising finance through various digital assets, tokens, cryptocurrencies, individual blockchain and other distributed ledger technology protocols, such as DAG, that is directed acyclical graphs. We also provide services of tokenization. That is, this is the company's back office, where we assist in digitizing assets, so that they can then be used to attract financing, and so on. In addition, some of our activities are related to helping startups develop and further enter these markets, attract funding and achieve new levels. These are the services and relationships that are very actively expanding due to the development of this industry. Next is my presentation. There are few slides in it. Just the core ideas. When talking about the shaping of this industry, it is necessary to understand that the development of distributed ledger technology is only one side of the coin. Until serious investors, large platforms and institutions come to this market, we will perceive it as immature. Let's talk about the geographical structure of this market. Many people say that great development is happening in Asia. In fact, it enhances in places where mature economic relations have already been created. After all, 40% of the security token offerings, STO, market, which is a continuation of the ICO, and the organization of platforms on which digital assets are emitted, is still the United States. That is 40%. In second place is Europe. There are now 3 countries: Germany, Switzerland, and Malta with its innovative approach. To this day, Malta is considered the window of entry into these services, thanks to the fact that it has adopted special laws that allowed it to take such a high rank. Other countries, Great Britain or the Baltic countries, that are very actively starting to get involved in this topic. But they still have not yet caught up with these 3 countries. Asia and Australia are in 3rd place. I'm not talking about Latin America at all yet. Although, of course, the prospects are great. In Asia they are maximum. China has come back to this topic. Some state-owned Chinese banks have even done this tokenization of their assets. For example, the Bank of Telecommunications tokenized its largest debt portfolio of almost $1 trillion, even more. It was a very strong move. And it seemed to allow us to say that the market, in fact, is not some kind of tulip fever. This is what will transform finance, financial markets, and even monetary and economic relations in general. Let's talk about the benefits, advantages that we see based on our practice. First, let's quickly tell you what projects we do. For example, one of the projects is a Norwegian company that has made solar panel technology. In Africa, for example, in Kenya and the sub-Saharan countries, those below Kenya, the countries of Central Africa, there are problems with electricity supply. There are no electrical networks there. As, for example, we have them, which were built at the beginning of Soviet times. Some inhabitants there, in order to get energy, sometimes need to walk for 3 hours to get kerosene and bring it to their homes. It is believed that such solar panels can solve this issue, because there is a lot of sun there. It is high standing. It gives a lot of energy. But the problem is that inhabitants do not have a lot of money to install a solar panel on their house. For this they need $300. And these systems need to be serviced. But they earn only up to $100. And this Norwegian company has developed a model of mobile solar panels. When people walk around on the phone and charge the panel with energy, then they use it, including in business. Accordingly, we are now helping them attract financing, up to $50 million. That is, a Norwegian company operates in Africa. The jurisdiction of the project is Hong Kong. Access to all countries. The approach is that we are looking for investors all over the world. That is, we have no localization at all. Internationality is one of the benefits of what comes with these services. Hence, accordingly, placement via the Internet. That is, we literally use the Internet for communications. We don't have any sole platform. That is, it is also a plurality of institutions. There are many sites, platforms, different banks with which we work. If it were a simple IPO, entitled public offering, then usually we are tied to some kind of law/legal system. And we can generate tokens anywhere. In Switzerland, in Hong Kong. But, for example, in the USA it is more difficult. Non-Americans have certain challenges there. But in general, the plurality of institutions is one of the advantages. Another advantage, benefit, is liquidity, of course. Experts talk about this a lot. That this technology of digitized assets allows for increased liquidity.
Vasily, let me ask a question right away. There was a very interesting point in your presentation. Do I understand correctly that not only small businesses, but also fairly large companies can digitize and attract money directly to the real sector?
I wanted to talk specifically about the real sector. When we had ICOs, there were mostly startups. Moreover, these were not even startups. 99% of these product or custom tokens were a scam. Moreover, not 90%, but closer to 100%. We now work mainly with companies that have a certain base. And these companies are starting to come to the market. Companies that already have a certain history of business and revenue, earnings. But they are not large. Still, large institutions are not currently the drivers of this growth. Now it will be medium-sized companies, intermediate in volume of activities, that will push this market upward. And here is just such a company. Also, for example, we are working with a construction, development company that can tokenize apartments. It has revenue of approximately $200 million per year. So this is not yet a large business, but it is already moving into one, while it is still medium-sized. When companies of this level come to the market more and more, this will be a serious statement that the market has begun to transform. And then there will be stories that are not as fragmented as, for example, this project of this Chinese bank or other traditional banks. And they will completely change their business structures. And so, there was recently a study showing that those banks that do not switch to this new technology will most likely cease to exist. They need to transform, use all these technologies, implement them completely into their own processes. And if this does not happen, most likely they will go bankrupt or be merged. On the one hand, these are big risks, which I wanted to talk about. But, on the other hand, these are very great opportunities, including for the younger people generation. I believe that this story lasts for 20 years. And this may indeed be the basic technology that produces the next economic wave, in the form of Kondrativ waves, which last about 50 years. And we need to start now. We need to understand what will happen and develop in this direction.
If you have questions, we will ask them. If there are representatives of small and medium-sized businesses that want to tokenize it, you can contact us.
Yes, we are indeed very active in this now. If you want to attract funding and reach new levels, please contact us, we can do it. We have a good base. Thank you.